I'm Truchan. I'm owner of Perfect Definition Academy, and Scalp Micro Definition, plus a few other businesses, all related to permanent makeup and medical micropigmentation, scalp micropigmentation. I am based in London, in UK, and I've been a full-time cosmetic and medical tattooist for the past 9 years. I won a few awards here and there, some global, some UK, some regionals, and so on. And I've been quite present in the industry, especially in UK, looking after our UK students, technicians, and my esteemed colleagues with help in regards to the NAMIN products, which our fabulous Dr. Dixon here will be telling us a bit more about today. Dr. Dixon is the woman behind the products which we all absolutely love and use and have to use for the purposes of helping our procedures during the permanent makeup, medical micropigmentation, cosmetic tattooing scope. So Dr. Dixon, if you would like to tell us a little bit about yourself and how your journey has started, because you've been looking after us for such a long time, and most of the people don't really know who the person behind everything is.
Hi, or should I say aloha?
Aloha.
I've been here in Hawaii. I've been here in Hawaii for 32 years. I am an anesthesiologist, pediatric anesthesiologist by training. I was allergic to makeup. I couldn't wear makeup. And when I was on the island of Maui, in about 1979, I walked across to a tattoo parlor and asked the lady, I said, "Can you tattoo on my eyeliner?" And she swore at me. And she told me to get out, that she'd never heard of such a thing. That was absolutely ridiculous. And I said, "Well, you can tattoo a line, can't you?" "Well, of course." And I said, "Well, then you can tattoo if I hold real still, you can tattoo a line right across my eyelid." "Well, it would hurt." I said, "Well, I promise you, I won't move." "Well, you must be crazy." And I said, "No, it's just that as an anesthesiologist, because I wear a cap and a mask and, I said, the only thing my patients can see are my eyes. And I may work 24, 36 hours. I'm allergic to makeup and I look terrible." "Well, sit right here and I'll try it." So she put me in like a dental chair. I was sitting up. First time she'd ever done it. First time I'd ever had it done. And yes, it hurt, but I held real still. I was determined. She did it. And 3 days later, I was able to open my eyes.
Oh my God, you are so much braver than I am.
It was so swollen, but there was a little color. And I thought, well, that's better than nothing. And to this day, I'm allergic to makeup. I can't use any makeup. I've tried everything. Hypoallergenic, Bobbi Brown. I've tried L'Oreal. I've tried Chanel. I've tried Maybelline. I've tried everything. And so for me, it was a necessity.
Yes.
But, so I didn't do anything for another 10 years. And then I saw an ad like in 1989, maybe? I'm not sure. 10 years later. And this woman said, she did permanent makeup. And I'm like, whoa. what do you know? There's someone who specializes in permanent makeup. Now I can get my eyeliner done. I can get my lips done. Mind you, this is over 30 years ago.
Yeah, where there is a need,
So I
there is
went
a
to
way.
her. It hurt like hell. She had cherry flavored cough syrup from Mexico with a local anesthetic that she used on my eyes and my lips and charged me $1,500.
Wow.
Yeah, probably the equivalent of $5,000 today. And I never went back. And I got to thinking, I'm an anesthesiologist. I should be able to do something. Maybe. I mean, I was used to putting people to sleep, putting babies to sleep, open heart surgeries, brain surgeries. And I thought, well, and then there was this local anesthetic topical called Ebla that came out.
Oh yeah, we've got
And I
that
thought,
here too.
oh, I don't have to do it anymore. I can just use EMLA. Well, what happened with EMLA was that women were going blind because
Yeah.
it would get in their eyes and it would cause a corneal chemical burn alkaline,
Yep.
which goes clear through. It doesn't stop like an acid burn. But anyway, I started doing a lot of research, and I talked to the FDA and I said, I really need, I want to do a topical anesthetic for permanent makeup. Oh, no problem. It'll only cost you $250,000. And I said, how long have you been working there? She said, 10 years. I said, sweetheart, it's close to, it's going to take me several years and $1 million. So anyway, long story short, I was like, well, everything that would work would be prescription strength. And EMLA was prescription and it burned the eye. And I did a lot of research and I tested the pH of everything that went in the eye on the market. EMLA, artificial tears, antibiotics, everything. But suffice to say, I realized I had to have a product that when it got in the eye, it wouldn't burn the eye.
Absolutely.
They'll sting, but they won't burn and they won't damage the eye. So I found a pharmacist in Arizona where I bought a house for my mom. And I said, can you make me a compounding? He could make them himself, at the pharmacy. And he said, well, I'll try. And I told him what I wanted in it. And that was in 1995, early 96. And it worked. And that was the beginning. And, and then it went from there. But people were still getting real swollen. So TAG and ultra duration came after that. TAG is a gel, which is safe to use on the eyes because it won't just go running in like a liquid anesthetic would.
Exactly. That's why we love it on all treatment areas.
But ultra duration it goes in faster, but so it's good for microblading.
Yeah, we actually like ultra duration on the eyes as well. You just have to be very careful with applying with a micro brush, and it's a minuscule amount which absorbs immediately. So it's almost just a contact application rather than letting it run or soaking it.
Yes,
so it's good as well.
You can absolutely do it with a micro brush. And what some people do is they'll make a little cocktail of ultra duration and tag and
Yeah.
use that. So you guys are really smart.
We are
really
on it.
Smart. I know.
We are on it.
But when I came out with that, before that, nobody was doing permanent makeup. And after the topicals, pain control, it just exploded. Permanent makeup exploded.
We owe you
And,
so much in the industry. Honestly, you have
well,
no idea. Thousands and thousands of techs globally are using the product, and this is the only way we can actually safely, comfortably tattoo our clients, and it's all thanks to you.
well, as I call it, pain control, because even as an anesthesiologist, I would tell my patients who are having C-sections for their baby, I'd say, you're going to feel pressure, but that's not pain. If you're feeling pain, I need to know. And keep your hands away from your eyes, because I've got a needle in near your eyes.
Yeah, don't move.
If you're uncomfortable, just put your hand up. And I learned to stay ahead of the pain.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We don't allow, well, I don't allow my clients to move. So when they starting to feel any discomfort, they are only allowed to make sound. No hand movements, no body movement. Just make me sound and I'll stop.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. So anyway, over the years, I've learned, and, fortunately, my associate is a pharmacist. Because of pH and, lidocaine, tetracaine's longer acting lidocaine, but I can only have so much epinephrine. Anyway, I've made a whole array of topical anesthetics. And I noticed, though, that some of my patients would complain of pain. And I knew they didn't have any pain, but what they were feeling was a burning sensation. So I learned that that what they were feeling was real, but it was from a preservative in the ultra duration, or in the tag, and not the creams. But so that's when I started making Numpot. Because they didn't need, I wanted to prolong the anesthetic effect, but I didn't need any more vasoconstriction. And so now when I do a case, I'll only apply tag maximum twice, usually only once. It depends on how fast you work, what needles you work with, what machine. And with eyebrows, I got to the point with microblading that I didn't have to start with anything. I could just make like 7,
crutches,
microblades, and then I could put on the ultra duration, go to the other brow, do the same thing, and come back,
and it's done.
And then start. Yeah.
Yeah, we do very similar. The experienced artists in UK, they tend to only apply the secondary ones because it stays a long period of time, and you don't need to keep reapplying. If the client is still numb, don't keep putting it on until they let you know that they are ready. Yeah, exactly. So we use it exactly in your intended way. I'm happy to confirm that.
Right. So when I started sharing information with professionals, because they were new, they were coming in new. They weren't tattoo artists. They didn't even really know how to tattoo, but permanent makeup started really fast, the KP96 machine, etc. So I would tell them that your clients will have 2 questions. Does it hurt? And how much does it cost?
That's exactly it.
And I said, and you have to be able to answer those questions. And I said, don't lie to them. Don't say, oh, no, you won't have any pain. You won't feel a thing. And that's true. Some will not. Some patients really will go to sleep and snore during their procedures.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
But I said, tell them you can control the pain. So I said, you've got to be honest. But I said, if you don't control the pain, they'll never come back to you. They'll never recommend you to their friends. They'll be out there, their makeup won't be finished, it won't look good. And I said, it will hurt you.
Yes, it's always best to prepare them so they can actually know it's coming, because when you know it's coming, it's no longer a surprise, and then it's easier. That's what we do here as well. We don't lie. We say, yeah, there will be some discomfort, but it's totally manageable. So we do exactly what you say.
Well, the people that survive in permanent makeup are a very special breed. They're very special. And so I've spoken with well, let's see. I've spoken with many people multiple times over the years, but basically 28,000. I've spoken multiple times with 28,000. Oh, 29,000.
Wow.
No, let's see. 28,861 people. And that's why my voice is so, I mean, I got to the point where I couldn't talk at all. People say, oh, what's wrong with your voice? Are you sick? And I said, no, I'm not sick. I just can't talk anymore, So anyway, I must say I couldn't have done it alone without my associate, my partner. He's a pharmacist. I couldn't have done it. He still is. I mean, since 1995, 96, early 96. We've never had a crossword between us.
That is amazing. And yeah, you guys been looking after us for such a long time. That is awesome. I hope you continue for many years to come, because we need you guys. So don't stop making all the good stuff.
Yeah, but what I was starting to say was, out of those 28,800, maybe 10% survive. I mean, this is, before microblading, and the pandemic really hurt a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
People who'd learned to do microblading in 2 days made a lot of money, and all of a sudden, and spent it, and all of a sudden, boom, they were shut down. They couldn't work anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't think we'll ever get over that completely.
I don't know. We're seeing a huge expansion again in the training. So the training moved on to online training pretty much. I mean, wherever I see people just learning online, which to me, it's a little bit crazy for the beginner. You can't learn stuff like that online. But here we are in new times and new approach. And yeah, it was quieter, and a lot of people got pulled out from the industry because of the lockdowns, the COVID and so on. But it's booming again. There are people signing up, and all sorts of not just beauty experts, but people from outside of the industry, just changing roles, careers. People want to work for
I'm on a
themselves.
Zoom call. I can't talk. Well,
hopefully it's not the end.
They're what I call survivors. The people are survivors. They can train online,
Mm-hmm.
but I really think they need, well, microblading is not so hard, especially estheticians.
Yeah.
They know how to shape a nice brow. They know how to do a nice brow. And I've had people say, Dr. Dixon, I've learned more how to do microblading over the phone with you than I ever did in my class. And you're free. Again, why I've lost my voice. But it's important to share. It's important to share. In medicine, we share. And the people in the tattoo industry in an organization I won't mention, and they were like, well, you shouldn't share. These are secrets. You can't give away information free. You can't do that. But you know what? People shared back with me.
Of course, and that's what makes us better. We help each other out.
Yeah, but online people can be real mean.
They can be as well. We see that every day. But you have trolls and you have good people, no matter what industry you look at, wherever you go.
So. Right, right.
And the good ones will survive, and the mean ones, well, it's a very short lifespan for those ones, because the industry is still small enough for the news to go around. So you either be a good person, keep up with everyone, help each other out. If you're going to be a meanie, not gonna last very long.
Right, right.
I wanted to ask you about microcaine. So microcaine is the specific anesthetic that you created, specific pain control product that you created for the eyeliner. Is that right?
Well, again, as I was doing my research for safe products to use around the eye, I had to have a certain pH.
Mm-hmm.
And, so it wouldn't burn the eye. And so that's how Numb Quick Pink and microcaine came about. And also, it didn't require a prescription, because most people, at least in America, they weren't doctors, and they didn't, but even in one state here in Texas, they're not allowed to have any topical anesthetics or something. But what people can do is they can request pain control, and then the technician can use it.
That's actually a very good point.
They're not practicing medicine. But so now I have them put on their informed consent. I do request pain control, and I authorize my professional or my technician or whatever to use topical anesthetics. So if you're ever questioned, about practicing medicine without a license, say no, I didn't practice medicine, the patient requested it.
Yeah, absolutely. We do the same here. We're requesting a consent from the client for the topical comfort creams to be used. Yeah. I think it's pretty much globally the similar rules apply. The moment you have a lidocaine listed anywhere, or adrenaline, so epinephrine, it just becomes a little bit more on the more controlled substances side. But again, the quantities are small and they are so safe to use, which is actually another one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, the product safety and contraindications for the most popular ones that we get most interesting, which is the TAC 45 and ultra duration for the secondary ones. So if you would like to maybe tell me a little bit more, or share with us a little bit more about the safety of the DATAC 45, ultra duration, microcaine, and the contraindications that perhaps should be considered when offering those products, during the treatment to clients.
Well, there are two things that are important in a topical anesthetic for our profession. It has to be safe, and it has to be effective. You can have something that's very safe
and does nothing.
But if it doesn't, yeah, no. But if you have something that's very effective, but it's not safe, it's absorbed into the eye, it burns the eye, whatever. So our local anesthetics have been tested for safety and effectiveness. Now, different people have different pain thresholds. And so, like we said, some people fall asleep, some people, you can't get a hold of the pain control. But what we learned was to apply the topical anesthetics for the eye above the lashes and down to them. Don't start in the ashes. And try to get it between the lashes to start with and work up, because your chances of getting it in the eye will water, it'll dilute the anesthetic, and then they'll say, you hurt me, So I got very skilled, and the micro brushes were a big help for that. So, I mean, you can't, you want to keep the anesthetic where you want it. And that's one reason why you never want to use an occlusive dressing.
Agreed.
Because before you start, especially eyeliner, eyebrows doesn't matter, but on eyeliner, it'll melt, and so the one thing we did with topical anesthetics is I made them melt at body temperature, so that so they would stay there, but they wouldn't run into the eye. They weren't too runny. So there's a lot of things that have gone into it that people don't know or appreciate, and especially knockoffs, counterfeits. They don't know. But anyway, number two, contraindications. The most people say, I'm allergic to lidocaine. I can't have any, but it's not true. I'm allergic to epinephrine. It's not true. I said, well, where did you have your allergic reaction? In the dentist's office? Oh, yes. The dentist gave it. It went in a vein, and of course they got, like that. The beautiful thing about topical anesthetics with epinephrine, like ultra duration and TAG and NumbQuick gel, is it constricts the blood vessels so the skin won't absorb too much. We don't put too much on, but it's actually safer with epinephrine. And number two, we can't be allergic to epinephrine because
we produce it. Exactly.
Our body makes epinephrine, And when we're doing CPR, we're trying to start a heart, we give CPR, we're trying to start a heart, we give epinephrine.
EpiPen, that's exactly what I tell everyone as well. And the
Yeah.
amount that our products, your products contain, they are minuscule. When we going through, for example, a fear moment, you get scared. We produce a lot more adrenaline in the fight and flight response, that it's so much higher in content than the actual products that we would apply topically. And it's only to the area. It doesn't actually reaches the full bloodstream. It's so topical. We don't even get that reaction that you would after the self-production of adrenaline. So I totally agree with you. And there is a lot of misinformation about it. I'm glad you actually brought that up as well.
Well, people think more is better. Excuse me. Stronger is better, longer is better. But that's not necessarily true. They think, oh, I have a doctor who can inject into my, and numb it for me. And I'm like, yeah, well, how's that working for you? They get swollen. They have needles. It hurts.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, the contraindications would be if someone were allergic. I ask them, have you ever been tested? Because even if they are allergic, like I'm sort of allergic to tetracaine that's in ultra duration.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, but not all the time. And who knows? And tetracaine dilates blood vessels, so sometimes you can get a swelling, but it'll go away within 15 minutes. It'll go away. I tell people, just keep working, just go to the other eye or wherever. So, but what's nice is if they say, oh, I'm allergic to colors, I'm allergic to local anesthetics, I'm allergic to cats, I'm allergic to dogs. And then I tell them, you know what, sweetheart? I don't think I'd be comfortable working on you. So it's a good out.
That is what we suggest to our students as well. If the client comes with multitude of allergies, you have no control over what's going to happen. It could be pigment, could be anesthetic, could be aftercare. Anything could trigger them without you having any control or ability to pinpoint exactly what it was. So when you have clients with so many allergies, just let them go. Sometimes it's better for the client and for your own mind.
Sanity.
Sanity, that's the word. Yes. So the next thing I wanted to ask you is about the manufacturing process, as well as the fakies that we see pretty much everywhere. We just call them fakies. So they are the counterfeit products pretending to be the TAC 45, the ultra duration. And usually we see them sold on like very random websites, but also on eBay, on Alibaba, loads of weird online shops. Like if you Google for like TAC 45, they will all come up, and they usually quite low in prices. And well, I know from my own experience that they are fakes. They are not the actual original product that you have been looking after us with. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the manufacturing process and how does that differ with the controlled manufacturing process versus what the fakies copies made in China may be able to deliver comparing to what you produce, and why people shouldn't be using the fakes?
Well, several reasons. Number one, we have a very clean, professional manufacturing site where we make all the topicals. We have a pharmacist in attendance at all times. We have every topical is sent out for independent testing to a third-party lab. And what they do is they test that number one, nothing grows in it.
Mhm.
That it's sterile, there's nothing in it. That, and number two, each ingredient has to be within 0.01 or something of what is on the label.
Oh yeah.
So
of
when
course.
you get tag or ultra duration, it's been tested and it has at least as much, if not more, but we keep it right there. We're very good at that. After 25 years, we, are good. And we have very sophisticated equipment for testing the pH.
Mhm.
So that we know exactly what the pH is, so that it won't burn the eye, it won't harm the eye. And also our packaging, we have, we've learned some people, have topicals that are different colors. They copied us, but anyway, and say that their gel will turn a brown color.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of those.
Yeah, and that means the epinephrine has oxidized in it, so it's not real effective. And unfortunately, even though it's not our product, it gives topical anesthetics a bad reputation.
Yes.
As do, the Chinese. It's funny, the Chinese, they don't measure what's in it. They don't care what it is. They just very good at copying our labels. And it can be dangerous. It can be not effective. It can be too much, too little.
The hygiene of it.
Topicals, totally unpredictable. So what we've learned over the years is that, hey, we all want something. We want the best price for something. We all want it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we go to Amazon, we get free shipping, we get it overnight, whatever. But people that have gone and they tell me, Dr. Dixon, I did buy tag on eBay. I'm sorry, but I did buy tag on Amazon. I did buy tag on Alibaba. I did. But Dr. Dixon, it didn't work. And I said, well, what happens when it doesn't work? I said, it costs you. It doesn't just save you money. Maybe you saved $10 a bottle, but I said it probably cost you $5,000 in referrals because your clients didn't like it. And they said, yes, that's why we're back, because I used the originals from you the first time and the patients were happy. Yeah. And so I got a cheaper one. I thought it was yours. I got it cheaper. And my patient jumped out of the chair and said, what's going on? And they said, so we're back, and what people don't realize is our local anesthetics, especially epinephrine, they cost now up to 10 times as much.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can't even get them.
Oh yeah, the products cost. Yeah. Went up.
You can't even get the real thing. So
also,
anyway,
even just the product safety from perspective of how they are being manufactured. No, not just what goes in, but the conditions. If there is no controlled conditions, you could end up with spores of mold getting into it.
No, that's why it takes us. That's in our report that we get, because they incubate them for, I don't know how long, maybe up to a month or so, to make sure there are no spores, because that's the thing you'd be concerned about. Bacteria, yes, but spores. And on our tank, we also have a childproof cap, just in case. So, we make it hard for anyone to have a problem with our anesthetics. And it costs more, an extra cap, it costs more. Nothing's childproof, of course. Kids are smart, but it's protective. Anything we can do to protect people. And that includes our manufacturing, the cleanliness, our testing, and our topical anesthetics will often work far beyond their expiration date. But because we test them, we say we know that they're good for 2 years, So
yeah, we have to have some sort of
say,
limit. Anyway, all medications have, and most of them are still fine past the expiry. Well, we never know how long, but if the zombie apocalypse came, you use what you've got.
Yeah. But it's so important. You never know, especially in China, and now with China being China, a lot of countries aren't going to be getting their counterfeit things anyway. So
Yes.
It all works out. Everybody copies my topicals. People, yeah, that was the first thing that happened.
Yeah, the variations of the TAC 45 that I have seen myself, very interesting, very worrying, of course, as well. Yeah, so in England, it is well, it's important everywhere around the world that we use in correct products for the correct purpose, and that the clients are genuinely looked after with the safe applications. But yeah, it is a little bit difficult when you look around and you don't know where to find the truthful, honest supplier that always assures that the product's coming straight from the source. There is no 15 middlemen or 5 middlemen or extra middlemen somewhere on the middle. It is hard. So it was very important for me to build that relationship with you over the last few years, with you and your company, to make sure that our technicians don't face that, because the amount of posts that we see, amount of complaints, talking about like, oh my God, I bought this one here and there and I thought it's okay, but it's a fakey, and it smells wrong, it looks wrong, I know it's not a genuine product. So I am really glad that we actually were able to start talking those few years ago, and then the technicians now back in UK can feel a lot safer knowing that there is an absolute quality for the products that they purchase in, because they know where they're coming from.
Control. I don't know of any knockoffs who have our quality control.
Absolutely.
We don't tell you it's safe. We let another agency, and we've had FDA inspectors in our offices where we ship, and they've taken our products. We never hear back because they trust us. They want to make sure that what's in there is in there. So, yeah, because they will, but we don't like people selling stuff on our anesthetics. We say, do not sell directly to the public. These are for professionals
only, qualified professionals only. So right. Yeah, that's what we do in the UK. So there is no website, for example, when you communicating with me where you can purchase it. You need to contact me directly so I can check who you are before you're allowed to use the product, because anyone could go online and buy something. You don't know what they're going to do with that. Those products are not for general public's use. So yes, that's why it's so important for me that everyone in the UK, all the students, all the colleagues, all the studios, all the academies have the correct access, and the access is always checked and verified to assure that nothing ever happens that could raise in any way any questions about the danger of using topical anesthetics, because as we know, they are safe, they are beautiful, clients need them, we need them, they are so important to our work, and without them we would be hurting general public for no good reason. So I'm so glad that we actually have this interview, so I can share it with the students, with the colleagues, and they can share it as well. So all the newbies coming to the industry can understand the actual importance of using the safe products and not just going for the cheap knockoff. So like, I just buy it there, it's okay. How much difference can it be between this one and the knockoff from China, you know? So I want them to get a grip of the fact how crucial it is to work with the safe products. And that's why I just couldn't wait to have this interview with you and share it with everyone.
Well, there's a big difference both in safety and effectiveness. And like I said, they may say money buying, a cheaper, a counterfeit, but it'll cost them so much more in the long run. So
Absolutely.
much more. And if they have a complication, with us, if they have any concerns or questions about effectiveness, we can show them the lab reports of the ingredients, of the the strengths, and the sterility. No spores, nothing bad. So yeah. And it's again, it's tempting. Amazon even puts on there, oh, this is the one we recommend, this is the cheapest one. But boy, you go on eBay, eBay is a black market for criminal stuff. You can buy anything on eBay. It may be stolen.
Yeah.
And eBay won't give you your money back,
No. Yeah,
but
it's madness out there.
We appreciate instructors, because in the proper use of topical anesthetics, it's as important as the topical anesthetic itself.
Yes, we pay special attention to it as well, because students need to know how to apply those, why they applying those, how not to overuse, how to do it safely, where to get them safely. Yes, it is part of the important training. And in UK, we're quite strict on that. Not everyone is, but most of the places, they are very responsible and very caring in this respect. I hear about some places that saying like, you don't need an enamel cream, it doesn't hurt that much. But if I was going to do that to my clients, I would have been out of the job many years ago. Because if I went somewhere and had the treatment done without the anesthetic, I actually had it done on me. I have my eyebrows, eyeliner, lips done for many years now. If I had it done on me, which we tested once just to see how it feels, I will never do it again. I had to stop at the beginning of the procedure, like about 5 minutes in. I was like, I'm tapping out. I cannot do it anymore. Let's put it on. I've done it not for fun, but for the research purposes. And it was hell. It was hell. And my colleague's work is very gentle. I know, I've seen her work. And anyone, I don't even particularly consider myself so sensitive, but anyone with the slightest sensitivity, it will feel the discomfort. So no, thank you. I rather work with good, safe products, spend a little bit money, make sure everything is as it should be, and make sure that the clients like how I work with them and that I feel cared for.
Also, I want to mention, if people want to watch a video about topical anesthetics, it's on YouTube, and they can watch. Yeah, they can watch the YouTube video where I'm talking about all of this stuff, a lot of this stuff we've talked about today. And that goes back 100 years, because I made
stop.
it. It's been my passion, Pain control has been my passion, safe and effective pain control. And of course, you'd say, oh, well, isn't it important? They want to know how their brows are going to look. But they really want to know, is it going to hurt?
Yep.
You know, I mean, Lord knows I've done brows I was not proud of.
I think we all got those.
My training was, oh, you don't have to draw a brow. You just mirror what they had. If they have this, do this. You know, you don't have to worry about shape. Just do it. You know, like, whoa. And yeah. But I learned, you know.
We all learned the hard way.
Yeah.
The newbies these days, they have it really good because we share so much, we give so much out, like we dedicate our souls to teaching them the right ways. If they looked at what we had to get through when we were starting, same as me, you know, it wasn't one of the easiest journeys. I was lucky. I went with a great academy when I was a student myself. You probably know Karen Betts, so KB Pro, Nouveau Contour. So I was lucky to go for the quality rather than the price. So I consider myself one of the lucky ones that made the right choices. Nevertheless, there are some brows that I've done in the past that when I look at them now, I'm like, those are many years ago.
Yeah.
Nothing current.
Right.
So I have one more question for you. I wanted to ask you about the recognition of the real product, Real Tag 45, for example, versus the fakies. I wanted to, if it's okay with you, to share about the little dots on the packaging and how to check that this is the genuine product.
Okay, well, because there are so many counterfeits, we spend a lot of money to put on what's called a hidden tag. And the hidden tag is in, you know, like you said, the 3 little dots in that little box on the tag label. But the person has to download the app onto their phone.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they have it on the phone, they can do it. They can center their phone camera over that, and it will come up and tell them if it's the real thing. So yeah, and that's another thing. They're very expensive. I think just a year we'll spend $5,000 to $10,000 just to get that label for our tag gel.
But thanks to that, we can all avoid the fakies, and everyone has an access to do it themselves and just check if the product is genuine. So we are very grateful for that. Thank you for doing this, because sometimes the fakies come out quite well copied. Some of them are really bad copies of the labeling, like spelling mistakes, and some of them are really good. The labeling,
but what they can't duplicate is if it's real or fake from that. They can print it on their label, but I've had them send me their tag to see if it was the real thing. Oh, it's the real thing. It's just blah, blah, blah. And I can use my phone and check, you know, with my hidden tag app.
Yeah.
And it's not real. And I told them, I said, it's not real. But it's real. I said, no, it's not real. Where did you buy it? I bought it at a show. Where did you buy it? I bought it in Florida at the annual show. And I said, okay. It's not the real tag. As you know, your patient had a lot of pain. Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. I didn't buy it from you or, you know, one of our distributors. So, but we're very dependent on people like you as well that know what they're doing. You're good with customers. You do permanent makeup yourself. You've had it done. You know, we're not big into people who just sell products. You know, we only sell to to not only trained professionals, but to instructors.
And the ones that
So
care.
thank you.
Oh, thank
Thank you.
you. I'm so happy I get to speak to you today, and I get you to tell us and share all the knowledge that you had and the history of how everything came to life and how it happened. That's been great help, and I cannot wait to share this with our students as well.
Well,
And if you,
just have them go on YouTube and look at the video.
yes, if you could send me the link, I'll share that as well. I will add it at the end of the video, so they will be able to see.
All right, I can do that.
Thank you. I'll get that on the email from you.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much, Linda.
You're
That has been amazing.
welcome.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure.